the one who cares, ask Alma. Problems big or small, she has the answers to them all. So drop your questions, have them solved by Alma. You can ask her anything. Trouble, ruin, ask Alma. He will do it, ask Alma. Time for you, ask Alma.
Hello, and welcome to Ask Alma Live. My name is Lee Ivory, and I am the guest host tonight. Filling in for our beautiful and brilliant host, Alma Gill, who is working her little fingers to the bone tonight at the Washington Post. It's election day in Virginia, and the parts hereby. So, hey Sharon, how are you? So we're still going to try to have a great show tonight. We got some great panelists tonight. And I think we got some letters that are scintillating and are going to spur a lot of conversation. So I hope so. So please tune in. Tell your friends to tune in. Hey, Tracy. And let's get ready to do it here. Let's start bringing in our panelists tonight. We got a hot group as usual. Alma's number 2. The lovely, the smart, the witty.
The checks in the mail. The checks in the mail, Lee. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's right. All right. And we've got a newbie and a semi-newbie, Sharon Jones Evans, who I'll tell you a little secret. I went to college with Sharon Jones Evans down in Arkansas. And so I know all her secrets. And she knows all of my secrets too. So we just going to agree.
Be kind, right?
We just going to agree not to talk about nothing like that. All right. So, the checks.
Yeah, I'm sending my check sooner than Deidre's. You'll have yours by the time
That's right. I've known Deidre for almost 40 years too.
Listen, right?
And last but not least, my brother from another mother, the super Spartan from Michigan State, from Detroit, D-Town, the sports writer extraordinaire, Mr. Chuck Johnson, ladies and gentlemen.
You're talking about secrets, Lee. I know secrets. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Right? Move on, right?
I know. So dig this. Give you a little trivia here. One of us on this panel is a movie star. Okay.
I wonder who.
And it is my brother, Chuck Johnson. Chuck, tell him which Rocky movie were you in?
It was the last Rocky movie installment, which was Rocky Balboa. He used the full title of the character in his last movie. So he said that was the movie that was definitively going to wrap up the series. He thought it was going to be Rocky 5, but he said that turned out terribly. So he felt he had to do another one. So Rocky Balboa was it.
Yet?
Oh, it came out in 2006, dear.
Oh,
2006.
Okay. I'm like,
that's been years ago. I don't know why Lee going back to the past like that. Well, that was my one.
But I mean,
that was my.
Oh,
one,
it's a Creed that they're talking about making another Creed. I'm starting.
Okay. Creed is a continuation of the series.
Right. Okay.
I guess there's been some type of legal controversy because Rocky. I call it Rocky. Sly figures he should be more involved in the franchise, but I think they pretty much wrestled it from his hands these days.
Yeah, because he doesn't own the franchise.
But I think what I read is that he's going to be involved in this last one.
Right. Well, I mean, definitely he's the asset still to the whole thing.
Absolutely.
No question about it.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, just say hello to our viewers. Tracy, Manisha. Hey, Pat.
Mary Lou. Hey, Mary Lou.
Mary Lou, Sharon, Lillian, what's happening? Thank you guys for tuning in tonight.
Ted Walkup is here.
I know, Patricia.
Ted Walkup, right?
That's right. Yeah. So a lot of stuff is in the news today, this week, the last month. But one thing that's kind of like percolating on, in particular, like Black Twitter. I still call it Twitter. Forget it.
Black X.
Black X, is a couple of our superhero entertainers are not hitting quite the way
Not
they
superheroes anymore.
Yeah, not hitting quite the way they used to, but they continue to tour. And so, people paying good money for these concerts. And I'm talking about Frankie Beverly and Freddie Jackson. And, we can't pop the video up here right now, but later on tonight, when you guys get a minute, go to YouTube and pull up a couple of their latest concert videos and you'll see what I'm talking about. So my question just to the panel here for a couple of minutes is that fair to the paying audience to continue to try to perform when you're kind of shot? What do you think?
Well,
I don't like it.
No, go ahead, Cher.
Go ahead, Cher.
Yeah, I don't like it. I love Frankie Beverly, and I'm just so
Me too.
disappointed that he doesn't have somebody younger to kind of harmonize with or to kind of pick up slack. He can't do it. The band is killing, and we all know the music, but he has been he's leaning too much on history, and I don't like it. He's not delivering, and I would be disappointed because the ticket prices have not gone down because the performances.
Yeah, Lily is
if you can sell it though, at some point, well, you should have a friend that says, "Come on now, it's time for you to just let them buy the CD." However you get your music, right?
Right.
But some people have been touring, and like you take Gladys Knight, who
she still sounds great,
touring and killing it still. So
sounds great,
Right. So I guess people figure this is what I do.
Yeah.
Isn't it the same with athletes? Some athletes probably should sit on the bench years before they actually do it. If that's what your life is.
Well, but with athletes, and Chuck will tell you about boxing. Go ahead, Chuck.
No, I was just going to say about, Freddie in particular. I haven't gone to see Freddie ever in concert, but I do have a little sentimental side for him because I named my daughter after a title of a song he had, Janae, Janay.
Okay.
That was a title of a song. Sad song, but it was a beautiful name, I thought. So that's my oldest child's name is Janae.
Right.
But as far as Frankie's concerned, I mean, that boy was bad when he was
He
at
was
his prime.
bad.
I mean, he had a silky smooth. That's what he was about, his silky smooth voice.
Yeah.
The thing that has kept Maze going, of course, is the band. Like you said, D. I mean, Sharon, a heck of a band. I mean, they still can play their butts off. But I saw Frankie about maybe 5, 6, 7 years ago, and that was right after he had throat surgery and trying to come back from that. And he really never has ever recovered from that. Now, I understood initially when he was on the recovery process that maybe, this was just a transitional period.
Right.
But I mean, he's continued to go out there on tour as if he's really Frankie Beverly. And he's not Frankie Beverly, that the Frankie Beverly that became a sensation in the R&B world.
Right.
Lily, you are insane.
She said the whispers last month.
No, it sounded much better. I'm saying now,
I know, right? That drives me crazy. I'm like, no, I'm not singing. No, I'm not performing.
That's not fair to the audience when you pay good money. No. And it's like, your favorite song, come on, it's same with Earth, Wind, Fire. Yeah, I'm going to tell you, Tracy, for me, Earth, Wind, and Fire, they're not the same without Maurice. That to me,
No question.
Well, I think it's problematic for you to use a name and you don't have any of the members.
Well, they still
like,
Verdine's still there. Verdine's still there.
But you see a lot of groups now that are, touring, and you're like, all of them are good and gone, been gone for, ever.
Yeah.
And they're still touring.
Detroit's own Dramatics. I mean, LJ's the only one there. The rest of them are all imposters.
Yeah. And the OJs, I think.
I was gonna say, are the OJs they're still
they just shut it down. They just shut it down because they. I saw.
Eddie doesn't have his mobility anymore.
Yeah. He's. So I think they shut it down. They just shut it down like this summer. But
as far as the original members go, it really boils my blood when there's like 2 Sets of Temptations.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Otis is the Temptations, and wherever the Temptations, the real Temptations, as long as Otis is alive, that's the Temptations.
Yeah,
Yep.
right. Yeah, but they do that a lot, But recently these band disputes, and we're not going to.
Ain't nobody coming to see Otis though.
Yeah, I know, right? Really?
Anybody come see you, Otis?
But they have disputes, age-old disputes and stuff. Like, for instance, the Spinners just got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
But who they didn't let in with them? G.C. Cameron, who was the lead on "It's a Shame."
Yeah, but Felipe took it to a different level. Felipe came after him, right? Okay.
G.C. Cameron, that song.
I understand.
Put us on the map.
But Felipe is the one who put him.
Oh, he's the man, Felipe.
Yeah.
That was their era, the 70s. G.C. Cameron bust out on them when they were Motown.
Yeah.
But I mean, G.C., he wasn't with him long enough to call it.
Right.
But he was with him for a minute, man.
He was not the signature. That may have been the signature song early in their carear. That was not the Spinner signature song in the end of their career.
But they should have let him.
Sadie, baby.
Julian said the twins were out of breath and move in slow motion. I want my $70 back. Eddie performed while sitting down. That's not the same.
I know. Yeah. I feel you.
Sharon says that Smokey's still hanging, but I saw Smokey 2 years ago. I get my problem with the I shouldn't say old, the older performers is like all the gyration and the leather pants, and I'm like, stop that.
Smokey in the pink suit gyrating. I don't want to see that.
He had on red leather when I saw him.
Who are you guys talking about? Smokey? Who was Smokey?
Yeah, Smokey. Yeah.
Who was
Smokey? Smokey Robinson. But
Smokey, my boy. Now me and Smokey went to the same high school.
But it just shows.
Okay.
That's right. There's two great writers came out of Detroit Northern High School.
Yeah, but see,
who was the other one? Oh, you and Smokey. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about music.
Him and Smokey, right?
I got it there. I'm sorry, Chuck.
It goes to show that the pressure of today's music even affects our old favorite artists. You know what I mean? Because Smokey he shouldn't have been out there wearing no red leather.
Where was this?
This thing.
Down in Miami.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago in Miami.
Smokey is still relevant. I'm sorry. Smokey's relevant.
I'm not saying he's not relevant. I'm saying
I didn't see the red pants. I ain't looking at his pants.
He coming in there no Eddie Murphy outfit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't see him. I always thought Smokey was pretty appropriate every time I see him on stage.
Yeah, but it's fair. But anyway, we digress. But
okay.
We should probably get into it here. How about our disclaimer here before we get started, so we don't get in trouble?
All materials and information presented on this episode of Ask Alma are for general information and entertainment purposes only. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed are those of the host and guests and do not represent the views or opinions of the National Newspaper Publishers Association.
I like that Gasms album. Somebody just mentioned that Gasms. I like that Gasms album by Smokey. Smokey's still relevant. Listen to that Gasms album. Check it out.
Just real quick, that was our great friend Lori Grant who just read our disclaimer. Her dad had surgery earlier in the week. He's up in New York. I talked to her. He's doing well, but please ask Alma family, send up some prayers for Lori's dad.
Absolutely.
We'll do it.
Thank you. All right, well, let's get into it. What we got?
Alma, I've been dating a guy for less than 3 months now. We met online and talked for about a month before we met face to face. A week ago, we had a huge fight because he called and told me he was in a bind, real trouble, and needed my help. He followed up by asking if he could borrow $250 until his payday. Well, I said no. I didn't even have the money, so I couldn't loan it to him anyways. He was furious and said I really wasn't committed to this relationship as I had said. He also said if I was really into him and had his back, I would loan him the money. I was mad at first, but now it's been a week and I'm feeling bad about it. I'll admit, I do miss him too. Do you think I acted overboard? Maybe I could have borrowed the money from a friend and then loaned it to him? Or should I just let it go? I'd appreciate any advice you could give us, because I think this relationship has a chance.
All right, just to recap, they've been kicking it for 3 months. My man,
We all had the same face. That's what made me laugh.
I
We were like,
know, and I know what y'all are gonna say. They've been kicking it for 3 months. Homeboy gets into like a jam of some sort, and he calls her, says, "Look, I need 250. Can you help me out?" And she's like, ain't like that, you know. And she says that, she didn't really have it, so she would have had to borrow it from someone else, which is not cool. So, what do y'all think? What do you think, Sharon Jones Evans?
It's a big no. He says you should have had my back. Well, we've been together enough. You have back for me to ask someone else for the money. That's a hard no for me.
Right.
And if he's going to put conditions on the relationship going forward because she wouldn't lend him $250, no. See, we have potential patents, HAD.
I heard that. One thing I can't stand is somebody counting my money in my pocket.
Uh-oh.
And she says I could have given it to him anyway.
right.
I don't have it. So
Right.
how the heck he's gonna try to hold her accountable for something that he doesn't have? How he's gonna try to tell her she gotta have it, So the bottom line is, that's a loser. That sounds like a loser. Sounds like the lady I took out to dinner the other night, and she ordered every damn expensive thing on the menu. I ordered a $30 entree. She wound up ordering $150 worth of stuff. My bill was $200.
Oh,
That teed me off. So
I
the
ain't
bottom
gonna
line,
ask you how the rest of the evening played out, but
no,
how the rest of the evening played
the
out?
rest of the evening was
Who
open.
eats $150 worth of stuff?
How did the rest?
Prime rib, $65. First of all,
Oh no. See, no.
2 sides and an appetizer.
This a first date?
If you want to call it a date, yeah.
Okay. All
That
right.
was a business transaction.
We should have been.
It was a ripoff. It was a ripoff. I'll tell you what I did.
That's crazy.
I walked out and said, I'll be in the car.
Ah!
Matter of fact, we didn't even eat. She carried out a carry-out bag. I paid for the bill. But I got so upset looking at her in consideration. I said, I'm done. I'm out. I got the hiccup and got out.
That's like a wedding anniversary kind of meal. That ain't no
Right,
we just out on the first date. This dude, we're assuming they're adults, right? He knows at least 20 other people besides me that he should have asked first before he asked me for $250.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
He should have asked the doorman at his apartment, whoever, but not me. Not after 3 months anyway. So yeah, I would not only not lend him money, I would not talk to him anymore.
My man Sean. What's up, Sean? Sean says, "No way, Jose." I'm like, Gladys Knight. Keep on keeping on.
Exactly.
Patrice says manipulation and audacity while asking money. That's 3 red flags right there. Mary Lou, he's a scammer. Gail, heck no. Move.
No.
Let
him go.
Gotta
At
go.
least she discovered that early. 3 months. She didn't get a year in where he was, he started
I wonder what he needed did he say what he needed the $250 for?
Don't matter.
They never say.
Well, it's not enough for an organ transplant. So clearly whatever he was trying to buy wasn't important.
It wasn't sufficient of a reason for that to be asked.
Probably the next new Jays or something.
I know, right? Hey, Hilda. Yeah, they never say when they need, what I'm saying? It's like, but yeah, that's crazy. So I guess consensus is that she needs to let homeboy go.
Yeah.
Don't feel bad. Don't give him.
He might have got a pass if he had said, I appreciate you, that you can help me. Thank you.
It's all right to ask, at least. Yeah.
Right. He might have got a,
right.
A little bit of a, pass, but to ask for the money and then try to make her feel bad about not giving it to him is a whole nother level.
And see, and Chuck, your situation, man, you sitting there watching somebody eat Like
Not
that.
just eat. I watch the order.
Right, right. But when you watching people eat,
Wait, Chuck, I've known you for 100 years. You ain't say, hold up.
You know I don't play that.
Hold up.
But it
That steak is
hit me so sideways.
$65.
It hit me so sideways. I never had anybody treat me so inconsiderate. I didn't think I could be the victim. I didn't think I looked like I was that type.
You got caught off guard, huh?
Oh my goodness!
Chuck,
And then
Eat, she died.
Chuck, I'm surprised you ain't say.
never experienced anything like that. I've heard of that situation. I've heard of people getting played and getting messed around like that, but I got caught off guard. I guess I'm off my game.
I dated a woman in college that every time we pass a restaurant, she'd be hungry. I'm like, we just ate 20 minutes ago. Yeah, but I like their
Whatever it was.
yeah, whatever, huh? I mean, come on, do you have a tapeworm? I mean, what is it? You know, we just ate.
Chuck, did you meet her on the dating site? Somebody asked me. No, I didn't meet her on the dating site. I didn't meet her on the date. I met her personally. That's the thing.
That's a good question, though, Sharon. That's a good question.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Look at Sean.
$65 is like a week of groceries. Like, come on now.
Man, I wouldn't have the audacity to, that's crazy, But my a friend of mine said that on her first date with this dude, that when the bill came, he was like, look here, I'm a little short. So if like take care of this, and then like next week I would tighten you back up. Now you're supposed to like, excuse me, waiter, order a pie and then smash it in his face. That's what you're supposed to do. You know what I mean? I mean, come on now.
I followed this guy online, and he said he was trying to get with somebody, and the girl says, "Well, can we meet somewhere close by where I am because I'm low on gas?" And he said, "How are you gonna be 45 years old and be low on gas?"
Yeah, I know what he
low on gas.
He worked at Wawa or something. I mean,
the woman said that. The woman was low on gas, right?
No, the dude.
No, he was.
The dude.
Well, actually, truth be told, it was a guy that was dating another guy, and he said,
okay.
You're low on gas. You're gonna be 45 years old and low on gas. And then the other guy he wanted to date didn't have a car at all. He's like, "You're too old not to have a car in Atlanta."
Tracy say take him to Applebee's next time.
Hey, that was my mistake.
I was gonna say you picked the place that even served the $65. Oh, you let her pick the place.
Yeah, but the bottom line, she said she had price point and everything in perspective,
Wow.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna leave that alone, okay?
Yeah, I would.
You just gonna get riled up all over again.
Hey, every time I think about it, until I get that credit card bill and pay it off, I'm gonna be teased.
That's crazy. All right, let's go to our next question here. Thank y'all.
Dear Alma,
good comments.
I work for a multinational company as an executive assistant to the CEO. The job is challenging, but I love it. In this position, I'm required to anticipate the needs of my boss, which keeps him prepared for anything that may come his way. I'm making more money than I ever have. And yes, it's more than what my husband brings home, so we are really in a great place. Speaking of my husband, we've been married 12 years. We have 3 kids, 7, 12, and 13. The problem is that my husband has become super jealous. Ever since I got this job, although I haven't given him a reason, he has been slightly controlling and very possessive. He calls me at work constantly, and if I don't answer right away, it's a problem. Obviously, the CEO, my boss, is constantly busy, which means I'm constantly busy, spinning and trying to keep up. The calls from my husband are really complicating my work performance. If I go out to lunch with colleagues, he expects me to stay on the phone with him the whole time. And he has even asked me to turn on video when I've attended a work-related reception. OMG, Alma, at this point, I'm beginning to feel like an abused woman. I've done a lot of reading, and his behavior fits the worst stereotype of abusive behavior. He gets a little crazy when I talk to him about it and accuses me of hiding something. I'm starting to wonder if I should stay or take my kids and go. I can't keep living like this. I don't want my boys to grow up in this environment. Do you think this is abuse? What would you do? I'd appreciate a discussion from your panel.
And Sean, that indeed was Alma Martindale reading those questions. She's with us and she's not with us, you know. Yeah. So okay, so to recap, this woman is married to a super jealous guy. She has a really high-powered job as the executive assistant to the CEO of a multinational company. And this guy won't leave her alone all day. He's calling her, bugging her. What you doing? Where you go? You ain't answer the phone right away. What's up? You know? So they have 2 kids. Should she stay or should she get away from this guy? I mean, is it too much or what? What do y'all think?
Well, I've never begrudged success in my mate, you know, and it sounds like that's one of them type of situations where the man really feels inferior some kind of way. He feels he needs to stay up on top of her to the degree that if he doesn't, he's going to lose her. Well, definitely he's going to run her away. I mean, like that, because I don't like anybody. Even when I was married, my wife knew that my job. I focused on my job, and nothing that she did tried to take away from that. So that's what you need in a mate. You need somebody who is supportive of you, not somebody who's checking up on you and wondering, what they have to do to keep you. So it sounds like a bunch of insecurity going on right there.
Right. What do you think?
I don't think this behavior is new. I think it's just magnified now that she is doing well. When she was the secretary or the clerk or whatever, he probably didn't have any issue
She was on the
with.
come
I mean, say it again.
When she was on the come up.
Yes, when she was, it really is just about her being gone and active, and I'm always hesitant to give people advice to leave their marriage, especially when there are children involved. So I don't know if I would say I would say perhaps they should seek some counseling and see if they can figure out a way to make that work. Because I mean, clearly she can afford to not have him now. Right. And her 3 kids can go on about their business, but I don't think
she didn't say he was dangerous, although that
he just wants to know everything she's doing.
Yeah, that could spin out pretty quickly.
Right.
But at this point, so.
But she used to come home at 4:00 every day. He always knew where she was and what she was doing. And now that she works for the CEO, that's not the case.
Yeah.
And he's home with the kids, and and that can happen both ways. You could have a husband that grows in his profession that way, and you're the one stuck home feeling like you're not getting enough attention anymore and all of that. But I think they should try to work that out.
It's not apples to apples, obviously, but there was a situation here where I live where the guy, they had a son, he was like 8 or 9, and he was super jealous of her. I mean, she would go out with girlfriends for lunch and he would blow her phone up, blah, 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 the whole 9 yards, And he just snapped. He snapped. And she would go to Chick-fil-A every morning before she drove to DC for 7:30, 8 o'clock, and he waited on her. And at this point, they were estranged because they were going through a divorce, so they were And when she went up to the window to pay, he got out and came over there and just
what? Oh my goodness!
This is about 7 years ago, and the people in the window were like diving on the floor and everything. Yeah, which is insane because they had a child, and but like I said, not every situation is like that. It turns dangerous, but
I think one of the catches here is it sounds like she's really enjoying her life now.
Yeah,
so it's not just that she's making more money or that she's busy. She's really loving what she's doing.
Yeah,
which may feel like that she is moving away from the family and what's going on at home.
Absolutely. Yeah. We got some great
And
comments. Go ahead, Sharon.
I was just going to say, because she's enjoying what she's doing, he's assuming that there's some kind of hanky panky with the boss. If
Right.
he's CEO, he's a high powered guy. I don't. Did she say that he stayed at home with the kids during the day?
No.
Okay. What I don't understand is why he's got that much time to be blowing her up if he's supposed to be at work during the day.
Right,
What do
exactly.
you think?
Exactly.
Yeah, so I don't know if he would be the kind of guy that would respond to counseling, but he needs to talk it out with somebody, because this, like Chuck said, I don't begrudge the wife if she makes more money than me. This is more money for the team.
Right.
So, why not? Why not?
Oh, okay. All right. Cheryl has a different take on it. She says he's cheating. And so, he's thinking she's probably doing what I'm doing. You know what I mean?
Projecting. Projecting, right.
Yeah,
says he's super threatened about how much money she's making.
Right. We got some great comments here. Let's
Yeah.
see. Mary Lou, where's Mary Lou? I wouldn't call him abusive. That's insecurity. It's a lot. She needs a conversation. DeSheryl says sustained because of children in any capacity is not worth it. No trust in the relationship. Counseling might help. You already Sharon says just a pain in the ass, another child. And Mary Lou says, oh well, we read Mary Lou.
Yeah, rid
it's a weird thing, where it sounds like she's doing everything that she can possibly do to kind of better the family, and she's in a great position and stuff like that. Man, that'll make you crazy. That would make you crazy.
Mm-hmm. And on top of making more money, she's probably dressing better. She's, she's doing all of these. She's, skipping to the car now. Like, she's happy.
Yeah. Old man told me one time, a scared man can't gamble, a jealous man can't work.
Well, that's true.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is true.
That make you crazy. So what are we saying to her? What should she do?
I would say, in terms of, it sounds like they're not yoked evenly anymore. Basically, sounds like she may be outgrowing him a little bit. And I think the conversation probably should just boil down to, ask the guy, what does he expect of her? What is she doing that is not satisfying him in terms of going to work and being successful? Right. Why do you have to continuously check on me? And if he doesn't come up with a sufficient answer, or his behavior doesn't change to allow me to do my job and not feel like somebody is, badgering me, then I'd have to move on.
Mm-hmm. Ladies, what do you think?
Well, I think there has to be. What'd you say, Sharon? I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, as far as the finances go, maybe that's an angle that she could come at him to say, look, this is for the team. We have been wanting to get, a bigger house, kids at school, just have a cushion for our retirement. Maybe that's an angle that might make him a little less jealous about what she's doing, and that is contributing toward the team. But I really, would like to see them try counseling. I don't know whether you type that would, because it's not something that's always so accepted in our communities. But she has to talk to somebody, and hopefully the two of them will.
Right. Yeah, I think they really should at least try to figure out what the problem is. They both may have just come from really humble beginnings, and they don't know how to, like people that hit the lottery. They don't know how to function with the kind of money that they bring home. She may really be, not cheating on him, but she may really be changing her lifestyle. She may not be coming home, after work. She may be hanging out more than she used to. Like all of those things that come with money. So they really need to find out if there is an equal place for them before they just go, okay, well, I'm rich now, or I got money now, I'm just going to take my kids and go. Because that's not going to stop him from stalking her. If she packs up one day and moves someplace, he's going to continue to follow her.
Mm-hmm. And we've all worked in corporate America. You know what I mean? And so when, like in particular with my executive assistant, we were always doing stuff
Mm-hmm.
after hours. You know what I mean? Like, at restaurants, or whether it was the newsroom, we were having, food and stuff because we were working on something special. And so, she would stay around, you know what I mean? And it wasn't
Right.
a big deal. Wasn't no husband, as far as I know, calling her saying, why you hanging around? And because she was, getting paid nicely and getting treated nicely.
Right.
So that
But
means
But
something.
it takes a special person to be married to a journalist or any other, profession that requires you
Right.
to be essentially on call.
Yeah. Right.
Or at
So,
least somebody who understands, what the nature of your job is.
right, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
now, Chuck made a good point about them being evenly yoked. If he's wearing Timberlands to work and she's wearing red bottoms,
Uh-oh.
that kind of thing could add to his insecurity, imbalance.
Yeah. Yeah. DeSheryl says he's scared she gonna meet somebody new on her new level and sweep her off her feet, which does happen.
Yeah.
That's definitely a possibility.
Especially with somebody nagging you at the crib,
Right.
It's like, oh, dude, really? Go on to Chick-fil-A and leave me alone.
Applebee's, no. Where we go? Oh no, Cheesecake Factory.
Go on, get you some Chick-fil-A, man, and go to bed. No, that's crazy. So, man, all right, well, good stuff. Good stuff. All right, let's see what we got next.
Hi, Alma. I could use your help. My sister is amazing. She was in a horrible, abusive marriage for years and finally got divorced. When that happened, her husband did nothing for her and her children. I mean, nothing. He left her with 2 boys on her own, but she did the best she could to hold everything together. She committed to her sons and never missed a beat. She worked 3 jobs and did anything and everything to make sure they stayed in their nice house, in a nice neighborhood, and went to the best of schools. They graduated and went on to college and graduated as well. One son got a partial scholarship, but my sister paid for both boys and everything they needed while there. The problem is with her sons. Both are men at this point, 28 and 32 years old. I love my nephews, but they continue to leech off their mother. She pays for everything: their clothes, shoes, cars, car insurance. One still lives at home. She even pays the rent for the other one who moved out. Both boys work and make decent salaries. They go on lavish vacations. They spend a lot of money and post pictures on Facebook. My sister is overworked and overwhelmed, running herself raggedy. She recently went to the emergency room and didn't pass a stress test. How can I lovingly tell my sister it's time for her to let those boys, I mean grown men, go? She has to look out for herself now, and for her health, it should be priority 1. I don't want my sister to suffer or fall ill, and at this point, that may become an issue. What can I do, Alma? How can I talk to her about this situation and not upset her?
Woo-wee. Boy, that's a tough one right there.
No,
Well,
I'm sorry.
all right,
You're being kind.
I know I'm being kind. But just to recap, woman married for years, got tired of a situation, got a divorce, took care of her 2 boys, made major sacrifices, put them through great schools, college, the whole 9 yards. And so now they're 28 and 32, and she's still kicking them out, and they're accepting it. And, they're working, they make decent money, but they're still kind of like mooching off their mom. And the mom doesn't really see it. And the stress is driving her to the emergency room. So what do you say when you see a situation like that? Because it's very dicey when you're dealing with family and you're trying to tell people what not to do with their family members, especially a mom and their sons, you know. So how do you get through to her? I mean, first of all, is she doing anything wrong? Number two, how do you get through to her if you think she's doing something wrong?
If she's struggling to take care of grown men, then yeah, she's doing something wrong. It's okay for you to want to, share your riches with your children. I mean, we all do that.
Mm-hmm.
But she's paying one of their rent and the other one lives with her and they have jobs and they
Mm-hmm.
have college degrees that are already paid for.
Yep.
They should I would start with my nephews. Because my sister is where she is, and that's a whole nother conversation. For if my mother was alive, I would probably start with her, but I would start with my nephews. They should be ashamed.
Mm-hmm.
They should be ashamed to be continuing to take money from their mother,
Right.
who has already given everything she needed to give, and quite frankly, required to give for them to be successful men, and now they need to go off and let her have her life with her own money doing her own thing. She should be the one traveling with
Enjoying life.
with her pocket change, not paying for them to so they can travel.
Enjoying her life.
Right. I would start with the nephews.
Yeah.
Well, I agree. That's the starting point right there, because those are the ones that are offending the aunt more or less. I mean, the nephews are the one that are doing the abuse in the aunt's eyes. I mean, as far
Right.
as the mother's concerned, she's doing what she's always done. That's looked after her sons. So, I mean, I could talk to my sister about things as a brother. I'm sure as a sister, she should be able to talk to her sister the same way. So she can tell her sister exactly what she's feeling about what your sons are doing to you.
Mm-hmm.
But unless she really gets through to those sons to let them know, as your aunt, I think that you guys, the way you guys are taking advantage of your mother is bringing your mother's health down. And if the sons can't see that and the mother doesn't change, then there's nothing more for the aunt to do. But you're right, Dee. Where you start is the people who you feel are taking advantage of your sister and bringing her
Mhm.
down, and that's the nephews. I mean, that's who should be talked to.
Cheryl
I,
says,
that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, I don't have any children. I have a dog, but it's just one of the things where those of us who don't have children have plenty of advice for those who do. And that is just plain abuse. I mean, they're getting all that they want, but they go to the mother for the things they need. And that's, that there was some communication with those sons along the way that they felt like it was okay. But one would think, for those of us on this panel, those listening, that you would think that after a while it's kind of like, oh hey, we're gonna do for you. But they have
Mhm.
been so used to having their hands out. I think the sister needs some talking to as well, but definitely the sons need to hear it from the aunt about,
Mhm.
you need to kind of change the way you're doing things. Your mother went to the hospital and blah, 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 and you need to kind of handle your business as grown men,
yeah,
period.
yeah. Well, Cheryl says she had to let her son go. Tracy says she knows what she's doing, and until she's had enough, she'll continue to take care of those men. Mary Lou says someone needs to lovingly talk to those boys. Are they blind? So, I mean, and Sean says it's time to stop holding on and cut the apron strings. It's time for them to stand on their own 2 feet. It's time for the sons to do for their mom. And I think we all agree
Mhm.
it's time for them to make a pivot now. But we've said mostly that perhaps there needs to be conversation with the mom, but and well, I mean with the boys. So I mean, should the conversation be with the boys or the mom or with both?
Well, I'm sure if you ask the boys why they allow her to do it, she loves doing it. She wants to do that for us. She's been doing that forever. And
Right.
unfortunately, that is, parental guilt. I'm sure with the absent parent, she's done, doing everything. Oh, I got to make sure they're okay. But she needs to make sure she's okay now. And
Yeah.
especially if it's affecting her health. I mean, if she had this income and she just wanted to keep throwing money at them, but clearly it's affecting her physically and emotionally. So they need to step up. I think I like again, I would go to my nephews and say, look, this is what you're doing and this is what's happening. And if they were homeless or, or even still in college or anything, I could see that. But 28 and 30, they should be embarrassed that they haven't said, Mom, we're good now. Thank you for everything you've done. We can pay our own bills. Especially if you live in my house, you live in my house. And I'm still paying all of your bills. That's insane.
And that is what struck me, because I'm thinking, what kind of kids would punish their mom like this? I mean, they see her struggling, they see her working hard to like kick them out, and they're making money and they're all on Facebook and Instagram and stuff with their exotic vacations. I mean, what kind of kids do that?
Kids that have been taken care of, or that feel that she wants to do it. We're gonna let our mom take care of us because she loves taking care of us. She hasn't complained about it. She hasn't said anything about it. She doesn't care if we go on vacations while she's sitting at home trying to pay the light bill because we run up the lights when we think. They in their mind they probably think she does it because she wants to.
Renee says definitely the talk needs to start with the boys, men. Moms will love their sons, but unless the mom sees something wrong with the situation, then nothing will change. Mother could end up upset. Cheryl says they're not ashamed because this is how they were raised, so they don't see or understand why she doesn't want to help now. It's her fault, but she needs to cut them loose. They should have a netting with the son. Let's say, Cheryl said, yeah, it's her fault, that part. She raised them to depend on her and her only. Now they're going to go out and depend on some woman and ruin the woman. Because, I mean, that's an excellent point. Because if they've seen this is how things work with their mom, will they not now have those same expectations as they go forward with women? You know what I mean? In their lives.
Absolutely.
They may have already run into those women, which might explain why they're going on vacation with each other. They done ran up on some woman and said, "Oh no, we don't do it like that." Would you date a man whose mother paid his bills?
I don't know. Would you? I mean,
date a woman whose mother paid her bills?
If it didn't affect you, okay, and you found out, let's just say 6 months into the relationship, that his mom was paying half of his bills for this beautiful apartment that he had, would that change your mind?
If you can't take care of you, how can I ever expect you to be able to take care of me?
But that ain't necessarily.
And I say that not that I expect anybody to take care of me, but if we're supposed to be into this in this together, I have to have some idea that you could be self-sufficient.
Yeah.
And clearly, I don't get that from your mama paying your bills.
But maybe
I would be embarrassed to go on vacation with a man whose mom paid for our trip.
Yeah, I would be embarrassed for them.
I tell you what they're going to turn into. They're going to be the kind of guy like letter number 1. You got $250. I never late. That's what they're going to turn out to do.
After mom cuts them off.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I get on my back.
Sharon, say again. You cut out for a second.
I was just saying, they would say, when I get the $50, I'll pay you back. My mama give it to me. I was just saying, they would say, when I get. Sorry about that.
Said my mom would give it back. My mom gonna give you your money back.
Uh-huh.
But I have never in my life been comfortable with asking, especially somebody who I was dating for money. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I mean, you know what I mean? It's because we all were white around the mouth at some point. We were like in our early 20s. You know what I mean? When I lived in the street, my first newspaper job. Yeah, that's right. When I was like 20, I was like 24, man. I had my roommates. It was 3 of us in a big roach-infested double-wide trailer, and it was like some weeks, some months, the electric bill was kind of dicey,
Mm-hmm.
It We done partied, you know, we done ate cheeseburgers and stuff, you know what I mean? But still, you know, I would never have asked, you know, I never did ask a girlfriend, like, you know, let me hold 125 keep the lights on, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because you went through those other people who you felt comfortable asking. You wouldn't start with the girl that you took out last night.
Yeah, yeah. Or
Or,
just
or
just didn't eat out. I ate bacon
right.
sandwiches all week. You know what I mean? Whatever, you know.
Mhm.
But yeah, this is a very sensitive situation because you know mothers and sons, man, they forge a special bond, and I don't know. She could get pissed off, you know, if her sister says something to her. The boys, I just don't know. I don't know. It doesn't sound like they're very thoughtful.
Mm-mm.
You know, my son didn't
Well,
speak to me.
Renee made a comment that mothers and sons definitely have, and they kind of, you know, the need to talk to the boys. So that's another comment in agreement with that.
Right. The sheriff says my son doesn't speak to me anymore, and I'm so happy. He left me with so many bills and damages. I had to wake up and say, "What the hell have I done?" I hope he never speaks to me again. I've saved so much money with his ass gone.
I hear you. Well,
You know, I'm thinking
that
about
sounds like a mom who woke up.
right. Well, look, and I think about, you know, if I was addressing my sister's health, you know, I would say to my nephews, you know, this behavior is killing her.
Yeah, it's
And
killing.
it sounds drastic, but it is killing her. She is working so hard
Yeah,
to keep you in the light, you know, I hate the term lifestyle you've grown accustomed to. Um, that she's, you know, it's affecting her health. And like I would love for my sister to be around for a while,
yeah,
Yeah, I
a
mean,
long while.
you wouldn't think the mother would have any reason really to get upset just by
She
her
was right.
sister caring about her, you know. So I
yeah,
don't see any reason for the mom to, you know, she should take the advice that her sister's giving her and, you know, wait for herself what her sons are doing
And
to
she
her.
may just not recognize
Yeah,
that, you know, that at this point it's problematic. She's been doing it for so long
it's just
that
part of her life. Yeah.
it's just part of her life.
Hmm.
Not realizing that she really now, and she should be going on her own vacation and not working 3 jobs. I hope she's not still working 3 jobs. I
yeah,
mean, she did what she had to do when they were children, but she shouldn't have to do that anymore.
yeah. You know, it's
If
crazy.
I had a
Go ahead.
conversation with the sister, sorry, Lee, if I had a conversation with the sister, I'd like to know how she came up with the idea that she would pay the rent for the son that's moved out. Whose idea was that? You know, and how did that come up?
Yeah,
I bet you it was because the one son lived there. So she needed to somehow, she was supporting that one. She needed to find a way to support the other two. So they would get some even, you know, so they would be evenly taken care of. Okay, well, since he lives here for free, probably, I'm
hmm,
going to help the other son out by paying his rent.
yeah,
I have a friend
Originally,
that did that with vehicles for her kids and was paying her son, you know, paying vehicle bills for 2 cars that, you know, well, we bought her a car, so we got to buy this one a car too. And I'm like, well, he makes double the money. He could buy his own car,
yeah,
and
and
not the
it's
car that he picks out.
yeah, right, right, right. But it's you know, it's crazy, you know, how the things that we will do for our kids and what situations because it's you know, it's not abrupt. It's a gradual thing that you find yourself
Hmm.
into, and you're living a lifestyle that on the outside everybody's looking in saying, "What the hell are you doing?" You know,
Hmm.
I had cousins in Chicago, and you know, they were going through that thing. You know what I mean? And my older cousin, who was their mom, she had like 2 or 3 locks on her door. She would leave and go to work. She had them big padlocks on her
Wow.
to keep them out of her bedroom, because, you know, they had I mean, I'm talking girls and boys. They had pawned,
Hmm.
uh, microwave, the television, the coffee maker, I mean, just everything, and so she was trying to keep them out,
Why didn't
and
she have a padlock on her front door?
well, because she was still live there. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. You know, it was that thing where it's like, okay, I can't put him out in the street. but
Right.
I'm gonna try to protect what's mine. They're still my kids, and I'm gonna, still try to protect them and
I
stuff.
wonder if some of it is just, I wonder if there's any part of it that's embarrassment because,
Maybe.
those are the people you raise. So you raise your children to be independent
Right.
and resourceful, or you raise your children to not be, and
Mhm.
now you have to, take up the slack for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Renee was saying, you do things for your kids, and perhaps she feels like the sister might resent taking this advice, but maybe have some conversations with her about,
Mhm.
well, so and so's kids took their mother on vacation to blah blah blah. When are your kids going to do something? Maybe give
Right.
some comparisons because it's just not fair. It's just
Yeah.
not fair to support two
No.
grown men. God.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pat says, I agree that the boys need to be talking to. Is there by any chance an uncle who could deliver the message from a man's perspective?
Good
That
idea.
might be even better.
Yeah, that's a good idea, Pat.
And Renee says, or she may resent outside advice about her children. Personally, I think she needs to wake up. But as Lee said, the things we will do for our kids.
Yeah. DeCheryl says that her son, she thought she was having a heart attack, and it was just the stress of that situation, and um, it's tough. It's tough. So what do we think? We think that what's our consensus here?
The sister, right? The sister needs to talk to everybody.
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
would I would start with the sons and then go to my sister with love. Look,
Right.
I don't think it's out of
we
line. I
watched
mean,
you take care of your children and they seem to be doing well. Please start taking care of yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. Everybody agree with that?
Absolutely.
yeah, it's
Absolutely.
not
Stop.
outside advice. I mean, that's family advice. I mean, if your blood sister feels that there's something going on within your life that she thinks she should be weighing in on. I mean, I don't take offense to that at all. So, I think the aunt is well within her realm of talking to all parties involved if she feels that something is detrimental to her sister.
Yeah. 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 That's tough. It's a tough one, but like Sharon said, it's tough love. And
Mhm.
sometimes we have to dispense that to try to keep our loved ones here, especially in just untenable situations. It's like, dang, you know, what is that? So hey, listen,
It could be.
go ahead.
And I was gonna say, I know it could be a challenge, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you have to come from that place of, love. Like,
Sure,
no,
sure.
I want you to be around for a long time. You deserve it. You raised two boys. They obviously are doing well.
Hmm.
Reward yourself.
Yeah, that's right. Cheryl says, I raised them to be independent, but I lost my way because I was making more than $10,000 a month and spoiled my kids and didn't think anything of it. It was when COVID hit and I wasn't making that kind of money anymore. It was crazy how my kids felt entitled and was really bothered, and I was in shock. So we make accidents wanting to give our kids everything, and that's all I did when I woke up, you know?
I
Yeah.
remember my mother told me a long time ago. She's like, I do not aspire to give you everything I didn't have.
That's good advice. I mean, I pretty
She's like,
much.
that ain't that. She
I,
said that is not my role, and I'm spending all my money. I'm
Yeah,
wearing all my stuff. You will
yeah,
not
that's
find
deep.
anything new in my closet.
Yeah,
And
that's deep.
what's left, you can take care of business, but you will not be wealthy. You will not be able to quit your job.
There you go. There you
that
go.
was pretty much the unstated policy when I was raising my kids.
Right.
I can tell you, my kids do appreciate the value of a dollar. That's for sure. That's for sure. I mean, they got what they needed, no doubt about it. But they
Right.
did not get everything they wanted.
Right.
And they're both thriving now with their own
Exactly. They're
families
both
and
in their
handling
own
their own
profession.
business.
Yeah, you
Absolutely.
got that. You got that right, D.
You are not the ATM.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, listen, I don't know about y'all. I have thoroughly enjoyed this panel tonight. You guys are smart and witty and just on top of your game. But in particular, I'm gonna tell you, our viewers were on point tonight too.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
We had some great comments from the viewers. I wanted to make sure that we read their comments, and Everybody got involved, and so that was really great. Thank you so much, folks, for contributing to our conversation tonight. And thank you, panel, all my peeps.
Well, I just want to say one thing, being a newbie. I like your show and I like your style, but your pay is so cheap, I won't call for a while.
Very
Thank
good.
you, Crazy. Thank
All
you,
right.
Richard. Good
That's
night,
Brown from Muhammad
everyone.
Ali right there.
I know that, Lolly. All right. Thank
All
y'all
right,
so
now.
much. Thank you so much. Have a good evening. Thank you,
Good
Tracy.
night.
Thanks,
Take care.
Richard.
Take care.
Cheryl, Tracy, everybody.
Take care.